looks like Noda is going to be your winner of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Is your champion. JJ splits the middle, gets past both drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, we're down to just a few races left here in this season, and I hope everyone is having a good day. I want to introduce you all here to Jeddah for round number, what is this, round number 8 now that we're on? Yeah, this is round 8 here. Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, one of our newer tracks here in Formula One. 27 turns, 3.83 miles, 3 DRS zones. Absolutely beautiful track. Very, very tiny, narrow street circuit. And of course, that is always a great time to have here in Formula One here with FRL. Hope everyone is having a great Sunday so far. And we are going to be setting up here with Split 2 qualifying coming in. We do have a smaller grid here this weekend, but it does not change any of the action that we're going to have. And now let's go ahead and jump on board here for the stream, and there we go. All right, and now jump on board here as we catch up with some of the drivers here who are getting ready to go out on track. Let's go ahead and get our track map pulled up so we can have a full view of the action. Of course, nearly 4-mile long track, but it's a beautiful track and you have to love it. Lap times around here are pretty chaotic, pretty fun. We've seen some big crashes, of course. You know, if you watch the real Formula One, which I assume everyone here does, you know that we had Mick Schumacher's massive crash, which they covered in Drive to Survive. Of course, it's Drive to Survive weekend. Drive to Survive is back, and testing weekend in Formula One as well. So real life F1 testing in Bahrain, but here we are in Saudi. And as we look here, lap record is a 130.734 by Sir Lewis Hamilton in 2021 before the regulations. I'm expecting to see probably about 130s here in our qualifying sessions. 13 drivers joining us here in Split 2 today. Split 1, we are looking at a setup of a full grid, of course, so there are plenty of spots open. If you're interested in joining FRL, of course, check out our socials, join the Discord, pick a number, pick a car, and we'd love to have you in. We've got reserved seats open as always, and then, of course, you could catch yourself on a full-time slot of the grid next season. Watching Radislav Kepa here as he is going through the first sector, looking nice and tidy so far there in that Aston Martin. Of course, Aston Martin and McLaren, the two big talking points of the testing session in Formula One. Aston Martin, because of, well, the potential for Lance Stroll to not be there in qualifying and the race this weekend in Bahrain. Of course, we are 7 days away from the real Formula One cars being on track. And then, of course, McLaren for their scary lack of pace and problems that plagued them through testing. Hoping that Frantic doesn't catch himself on the back end of that here in the virtual world. We're riding on board with Marios here, who is going down and coming around the back sector here, already into turn 17, turn 18. And yes, that is turn 18, even though it almost doesn't look like a turn. But navigating it through well. He was purple first sector, coming around there. Not purple middle sector, putting in an okay time. We'll see what sort of time Marius is going to bring on the board here to get us kicked off here with our first qualifying times. All drivers are out at the moment. Frantic and Gamer, who are out on out laps. And it looks like everyone but Radislav Kepa is currently on track right now. Radislav Kepa just now diving into the pits. Baran starts us off with a 129.0. And then we have a 129.2 coming in from Marios. We'll jump back here. Let's ride back with Pafixian. Pafixian is joining us here today. And Pafixian is a name that if you followed FRL for a little while, you should know pretty well. Pafixian, of course, is a reserve driver. Used to be a full-time driver on the grid. Has dropped to reserve for this season. And Pafixian is purple middle sector. And I do know from personal experience that Pafixian likes this track a lot. Me and Pafixian have put in several laps here around Jeddah. Me, Pafixian, Jack, Syntax, JJ, several drivers. Big names in FRL whenever they were trying to help me be faster at F1. And unfortunately for them, it didn't work very well. I'm still not very fast. Pafixian comes across the line, P4 with a 129.478. Nathan's going to come across the line next, puts in a 129.3 there in that Alpha Tauri. Let's jump back here with Gamer, who is going extremely slow through the middle sector, trying to stay out of the way of the traffic going by him there. That is going to be the Silver Arrow of Pink, who is coming through, who has put in an out lap and I believe is currently on an in lap, but might be holding up a couple other cars here. We're going to watch here. There is the McLaren of Frantic, that orange with that gorgeous Gulf blue. Frantic is coming through purple middle sector. There's a bit of traffic in front of him there. He gets around it pretty well, stays out of the way. Good job to Frantic, and now Frantic is going around the third sector here. That is going to be turns 25 and 26 that Frantic is currently going through. There's the Silver Arrow of Pink right in front. Pink is, of course, on an in lap. Stays well to the inside there, out of the way. And then Frantic hard on the brakes. We saw what could have been a beautiful lap from Max Verstappen, absolutely soiled by that wall on the outside line. Frantic is going to run it down here to the line. And Frantic comes in with a 129.875. Good enough for P7 at the moment. But over a second separating the grid out so far. Juro, Radislav Kepa, and Kushor are all on outlaps at the moment. Jump on board with Kushor here, who is just halfway through the lap. Radislav Kepa, who is currently coming through the final corner. And then now Kier is on an outlap, and Juro is going through and around as well. Juro, I believe, is like just starting his outlap, going through sector 1. Radislav Kepa, we're going to jump on board here with Radislav Kepa as we go around, and we watch and see what Radislav Kepa could do. Coming through the first corner, that's that hard chicane there. You got to brake forward. This track is it's very narrow and it's very unforgiving. See Radislav Kepa doing very well to hold on to it there. Coming through the back side of the first sector. Now you come around this weird little bus stop section. Stays pretty flat. Take as much curb as you can. Try not to run it wide on the exit there. Otherwise, you'll get dinged for track limits. Braking at the 50-meter mark for this hard left-hander. And hooking it through. And now we're going to come around here. Outside. Flat all the way through. Little bit of a hook there. And you just got to kind of stick with it. It does well to keep the rear end in check. A little bit loose, though. You see it's going to cost Radislav Kepa a little bit of time, and now as we come through and we come down and around and we go through just this long, flat, it's not even windy really, it's just flat in these F1 cars. And then there you go, you got to be real careful there to make sure you get on the brakes on time, but not compromise yourself. And Radislav Kepa does well there. Coming around final corners. And now it's tuck it to the inside, kick it to the outside, and brake in, hard in, as close to the wall as you dare, as wide out to the wall as you dare. Now it's flat to the line, DRS enabled down the front stretch. And as he runs down through, comes across with a 130.1. Not a horrible lap, though. But definitely a bit of time to find there. A little over a second off the pace of the pole sitter, his teammate Baran. Kushor has invalidated his lap. We're going to jump on board here with Juro. Juro is running down the first sector in that gorgeous Alfa Romeo. And as Juro is running down here, down the backstretch, last bit of... Man, can you even really call this a backstretch, though? Like, when you look at the track, Juro's purple middle sector, there's so many turns and different things in this track. Of course, this track wasn't like... It was built specifically for Formula One where it's at. It wasn't built around existing streets. It was purpose designed, purpose built to be a Formula One track. But it's very, very interesting to see that this is what they came up with. Not saying I'm disappointed in it. Juro comes across the line, P9 with a 130.3, but Juro was purple middle sector, so a lot of time there for Juro to find over 1.3 seconds off of pole position. Gamer into the wall there in the first sector. That is, I believe, coming through. Is that turn 8? I think it is. And there's no front wing. Unfortunately, that is going to be Gamer's Gamer's lap over here in qualifying. Now let's jump on board with some of these drivers who are just starting laps. Mario's, who's coming through down the main straight, just now starting a lap. Mario's currently 2/10 off of our pole sitter Baron, so considerable amount of time that needs to be found here with 8 minutes to go here in qualifying. We're officially halfway through this session. Snaps it a bit wide there on the exit of 9 and 10. So that is going to be Mario's qualifying, or I keep saying qualifying over. It's not qualifying. It's Mario's lap over. And then, of course, Mario's has been jumped there by Nathan, putting in a faster lap. Pafixian coming out of the back end. You can see a little bit loose there. And now Pafixian on the run down to the line. Where's Pafixian going to wind up? A 129.186. Good enough for provisional P2 here. Topove here coming through and around the second sector. That's that long left-hander of turn 13. And now on the run through, looks good and hooks the chicane up well, just barely stays inside track limits there at, that was turn 16, and is holding on for dear life, trying to put in a lap time here. We'll see where he's at when he comes across the middle sector timing line. He's down by 1/10.5. And now as he's continuing to go through, we'll see what sort of time Topove is able to pull out here. Running down and around, straight down towards the final corner, and braking hard at around the 100-meter mark. Left hand here through turn 27, which is 120 kilometer an hour, third gear, and straight into the pits for Topove. And Pafixian is on his way in. Pink, who has invalidated. Kushort, who is coming through middle sector. That is going to be the Aston of Radoslav Kepa, staying well out of the way. And then there's the Red Bull staying out of the way as well of Pafixian. And there we go. You saw a little bit of a snap there from Radoslav Kepa out of the final corner. Kushor is going to come across the line. Kushor puts in a 130 knot, and there's a 130.1 from Radoslav. So Kushor with a 130.3. Only good enough for P9. We've got P8 and Radoslav Kepa. And now we're going to jump back here with Velix in the Alpine. As Velix is running around down to the final corner, we'll see where Velix is going to land. And Velix puts in a 129.794. Good enough for P7 at the moment. Radoslav Kepa, purple sector 1 now. So Radoslav Kepa is going to be the driver to keep an eye on here as he goes through. And Radoslav Kepa getting past the McLaren there. Looks like that is Frantic, who has just stopped, staying out of the way. Radislav Kepa, purple middle sector, up nearly 8/10 on this lap. We'll see if he's able to hold it together coming through the third sector here. Coming through turns 24, 5, and 6, and you can see 8th gear flat out, 200 miles an hour plus by the time you hit the end of the straight. And there we go, braking from 200 miles an hour all the way down to about 70 miles an hour. Coming out of that final corner right against the wall, all the way straight down to the line here. And now we'll see where Radislav Kepa lands. And Radislav Kepa with a fastest lap, a 1:29.045, barely beating out Baran there by less than 100th of a second. Whew. Impressive time coming in there from Radislav. And now we've got Velix, who has invalidated their lap. Juro, who is out on a push lap coming through the first sector right now. Juro looking very clean through turn 13. Maybe just a little bit wide there, but still a very good line. Looking very, very pacey. We'll see how the sector times compare there as Juro comes across the 16-17 chicane. And then this is going to be turn 20, 21, 22. And then purple middle sector for Juro. So Juro really picking up the pace here. And we'll see if Juro is going to be able to hold this through in the third sector and nail up the braking for the final corner. Coming around turns 26 here, and now we're into the hard braking for 27 around the left-hander. And it's going to be flat to the line from here. Where is Juro going to wind up? Juro comes across the line with a 1:29.543, 8/10 up on his previous time, but still only good enough for P7. As we watch Mario's coming through here in the middle sector, again going around turns 19, 20, 21, that section of the track on what is the backstretch, but not the backstretch. And Mario's coming around turn 27, braking. Sepulve with a 1:28.8. So Sepulve finding a 10th and a half out of nowhere. Marios is going to come across the line. And where is Marios going to wind up here? Marios, I don't think is going to beat a 1:28. Wow. Okay, hello. 1:28.593 from Marios. So that is going to be Williams pulling time out of nowhere. I mean, that's downright impressive. Let's jump on board here with Nathan. Nathan coming around down to the final corner right now. And is Nathan going to be putting in a competitive time here? We'll have to find out and see. And Nathan with a 1:29.261. So has improved just a little bit. We've got a lot of drivers on track now doing push laps. Velix just started a lap. Pink is currently going through Sector 1. Kier, who is just starting a lap as well, with Frantic shortly behind here. Pafixian, who is going to be starting a push lap now. Pafixian invalidating his last lap. Nathan, who is on a push lap here. Frantic, who is going through. And now Frantic looks good through turn 13. Gamer is about to finish a lap here. And Velix DNFing out of the session in the middle sector. And that is going to be checkered flag falling. Gamer comes across to put his only time of the qualifying session in with a 1:21.8. And now we get to just watch as drivers come through. Pink is going to be our next driver across the line. And Pink brings it across 1:29.883. Behind him is going to be Kushor. Kushor good enough there for P9. Frantic's purple middle sector, so we'll keep our eyes here. Nathan comes across, only good enough for P6. We've got Pafixian, we've got Frantic, we've got Kier 21 who are still on laps. And then Frenick was purple middle sectors. Frenick going to be able to connect some time here and come around. Kier goes across the line for P5. Frenick comes across for P3, 129 not. And now our last driver to cross the line here, Pafixian. Pafixian invalidated that lap as well. So Pafixian does not get a representative time in and qualifies out P7th. So that is going to be our qualifying session. Fairly exciting one there so far. Mario Stopove and Franick, the Williams boys, doubling up and locking out the front row. Radislav Kepa, Baran, Kier, Pafixian, Nathan Juro, Kushor, Velix, Pink, and Gamer are 13 drivers that are going to be starting this race. And those are our 13 drivers and how they qualify out. Everybody's in the 129s except for Gamer, but Gamer only getting a lap in at the end. Everybody bear with us for just a minute, and we will be right back. As the drivers get set up here and the lobby gets ready here for the race, we're going to talk you through a little bit of the fun stats here with our Split 2 results here from last week. So last week, Kier 2021 was able to bring home the win. One pit stop strategy, fastest lap, and the win. Gorgeous race there from Kier last week in Miami. Round 7 of 12. It was a nice sunny race there for Split 2. Kushor was in P2. Franick was P3. Velix P4. Baran was P5. Topove, Juro, Marios, Mumamek, and Radislav Kepa rounded out our top 10. Debe, Andre, Maku were our 3 drivers outside of the top 10. Kushor got driver of the day in P2. He was up 9 places after starting P12. It was a race with a few different cautions, a few different things, and it was a lot of fun there to have. That left our standings in Split 2. Radislav Kepa is currently our driver's points leader. Franick's in P2. Maku sitting P3 in the constructor standings. Aston Martin with a 137-point lead. Aston Martin with 137 points over McLaren's 112. Alpine have 85 points, tied with Alfa Romeo at the moment, but because Alpine have one additional fastest lap and one more podium than Alfa Romeo does, they hold the P3 standings. Williams are in P5 at 54 points. And the bottom 3 of our Constructors Championship, it's Mercedes, Red Bull, AlphaTauri. But as we get ready here for the race, we're going to transition it out. We're going to take everything in. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be 5 red lights, and we are underway right away here. And you can see that is the Aston Martin of Radislav Kepa getting very aggressive. There's a Red Bull in the background just getting bullied. That was Pafixian. What was that? And that is going to be an immediate safety car off the restart. That was, I don't know what just happened. I don't know if that was wheel spin or what. We'll talk about tire strategy in a moment, but, I mean, first you have to survive. Let's see who else took damage from that. Gamer 2021 carrying no damage, surprisingly. Radislav Kepa, of course, getting tied up big time there. Pink in P10, it looks like, got away pretty unscathed, but we will figure it out. We didn't even get off the starting grid into turn 1 before absolute carnage happened. Anyways. We are going to clip that, and we will watch that between races, because that was something. Pafixian saying he got yeeted. Yes, Pafixian. It was oh, that was rough. Anyways, so we are lap 1 of 25, and we already have one of our 13 drivers out. So this is going to be a fairly long race. Radislav Kepa losing 8 positions down into P12. The audio is really buggy for me right now, too. I don't know what's happening. Weird. Anyways, So our beginning is it's almost how it started, except for not really. So Pafixian's out. Radoslav Kepa is down 12 places. Baran Kier move up as a result of that. Velix got very lucky and is up 5 places off the jump. And then Nathan, Juro, Kushor all gained a place. Pink and Gamer gaining 2 because of the resulting contact with Pafixian. Anyways, we are... I guess they wanted to do a GT start and do a rolling run here. And speaking of GT, if you enjoy GT and you enjoy endurance, I have rumors that I can present for you all. Rumor has it that Mount Panorama is coming to the ACC Endurance team in March. Nothing's confirmed yet. I just hear the rumors. Nobody tells me precisely what is happening until it happens, but it comes from a reliable source. And that's me. I'm your reliable source. So just stick with it there. And we'll hold on to it. We'll see exactly where that comes through. Anyways, let's look at tire strategy because this is where things get interesting. So, Marios is on hard tires. Topove frantic on mediums. Baran taking the risky move and starting on softs. Kier, Velix, Nathan on hard. Juro medium. Kushor hard. Pink mediums, and Gamer and Radoslav Kepa on the hard tires. Pit stop strategy. You can run a medium to hard 1-stop, or you can run a soft medium 2-stop. That's what AWS recommends here for your 2 potential strategies. However, as we know, as is always the case here in FRL, safety cars change everything. And they have always changed everything, and they will always change everything. So we will see where things end up. Just look how gorgeous this circuit is. Like, let's admire this for a second. This is a really pretty circuit. For as weird of a location and as random of a track build as it is, it's a really, really pretty circuit. And I have to say, it's overly crazy for some reason, but also, it's Jeddah. I expect nothing less. Anyways, as we sit here, lap 3 of 25 under safety car. I would imagine safety car is going to be in this lap. So we'll get 22 laps of green flag running, I hope, to run us through here for this race. You know, looking at everything here as we're waiting for the call of safety car coming in, which has not been made yet. Let's turn on the track map here so you can see where they're at on the track. I'm looking at F1's description of the Jeddah track, and to quote F1's Ross Braun, he said, "We want a race circuit. We don't want a Mickey Mouse circuit. We don't want old classic street circuits with 90-degree turns. We want fast sweeping circuits that challenge the drivers." You know, I have to say they accomplished that. They accomplished it pretty well here. This is a interesting track. Safety car you can see on the right-hand side of your screen running towards the pits now. So Marios is going to take control of the field here as we get ready to go back green and run in for some fun action. You can see Marios coming around here. Marios to Topove, 1-2 for Williams currently, just how they started. They're going to have to keep their eyes behind him there, but you can see now they're taking off, and Marios and Topove waiting till the last second to get going, and now here we go. So we're back under green flag running here to start lap 4. You can see a little bit of jockeying for position back in the back. That is Velix, who is looking to try to have a run there. And that behind them is going to be Nathan, who is getting squeezed through. That is going to be Kushor, who is dropping way back. And now as we continue to get going here, and we're looking at some of the action jump on board here for the front. Marios is trying to extend a lead here. And you've got Frantic trying to hold on there with Topove. And behind him, Baran and Kier and Velix all holding on. Couple of little gaps already starting to form early in here. And now let's take a look here at how things are gonna go as everyone goes through. We did have one person stop. That was Radislav Kepa. Look at Pink thinking about a Pink up the inside. And now on the inside for turn 13, that is Nathan on the outside. Turns to the inside here. Is he going to be able to stay close enough to defend the position, though? He is not, as they sweep through the chicanes. And you can see Pink taking it very wide, Nathan having to give up the position, and now Nathan down into P8, Pink in the silver arrow up into P7. And now as we run down the backstretch here, we've got another yellow flag. That is going to be for Juro and Kushor, going very slow there through turn 16, but they are both still going with no issues. And now we're watching from the helicopter as they go around this turn 26-27 section. You can see how the track is situated there on what is basically an island that was built for the track out in the middle of the ocean. And now Nathan's going to be under pressure from Radislav Kepa. Of course, Nathan on those hard tires that would have lost a lot of heat, so Nathan's going to have to watch out here as we go through. Of course, no DRS for 2 laps after safety cars. So for Nathan, it's all about defending from the slipstream here and just keeping a level head. You can see cutting the turn a little bit inside there, and Radislav Kepa is forced to kind of step back and is able to defend it well there. So Nathan holding on to P8 for the moment. But as we run through, is the pressure of the Aston Martin behind going to be enough to kind of push him for a little bit of a mistake? He's just got to apply a little bit of pressure as we continue through and go through. Baran up front is losing a little bit of pace there to Topove and P2. He was 0.2 of a second back. Now he's over half a second back. So that battle is going to continue to ebb and flow and push and pull as we run through here. Because you can see now the gap up front for Baran and Topove is closing again. So Baran seems to have a little bit of good speed there through the S's and through some of the more curvy technical sections. But in terms of straight line pace, it seems like that Williams is leaving him for dead and putting him in the dust. You can see there, 0.2 of a second the gap. That's how close 0.2 of a second looks when you're in a Formula One car going, if you look at his steering wheel, about 190 miles an hour. There he goes. He's going to look up the inside here. Is he going to be able to defend it as they come down? And Baran able to get past Topove there. Use those soft tires early on. Try to get a bit of passing done and pace through. And now he's up into P2. He gets set off chasing down Marios. Looking behind there, that is Frantic and Kier battling it out. And that is going to be Kier who gets through into P4 now. As Frantic is just forced to kind of let him through there. Looking really good as the drivers run through, and you can see just how technical this section is. Still 140, 130 miles an hour, only slowing down to about 100 before they floor it right back out of turn. That is turn 12, 11, 12 section, straight down for turn 13. Look in the background there. That is going to be Pink trying to take a look there on Velix. Pink is going to look around to switch back, take advantage of the medium compound tires. Keeps it a little more aggressive on the inside of the line, out of 13, coming through 14. Now, is he going to be able to get a pass done? He's close, but he wasn't close enough through there, so he's backing out, letting things go through. And that is going to be a spin from Pink coming out of turn 16. He's able to keep it together. It doesn't look like he took any damage there into the wall. Looks like he may have just cooked the rear tires a little bit too much. But he's able to keep it going there. Pink now dropping down into P9, was battling for P6. Looking at our battle up here for the front, you've got Topove, who is under some serious pressure. But look at this, Baran looking around the outside of Marios here. Marios is going to go very defensive. Try to have the run out of turn 27, the final corner. And Topove and Kier having a big battle right behind. So just watch behind you there as we see Baran with DRS goes down the inside. Is he going to have the pass done? He does have the pass done. And at the same time, Kier gets the pass done on Topove. So the Williams boys starting early on with a lot of pace, starting to drop back just a little bit here. And now you've got some other passes going on here. You've got Radislav Kepa here, who's going to be under a little bit of pressure from Nathan. Things holding on pretty well through as the drivers make their way through the first sector. You see just the difference in approach here that the Williams is taking. And for Topove, he's already 7/10, 8/10 of a second back there on Kier that just passed him. Marios has already lost 7/10 of a second too. So the first sector seems to be kind of tricky for the drivers here in the Williams of Marios and Topove. Just seems like they maybe don't have it through the first sector because now Frantic's 2/10 of a second back on Topove, putting in a little bit of pressure here as they run through the backstretch. But you can see that Marios is starting to gain just enough on Baran that it could make a difference here. Second DRS zone, DRS open, and that is Frantic thinking about a pass. Topove doing very well to hold the car defensive. And now Frantic has to just kind of back out of it a little bit. Has overtake on. Is really pushing to try to get through the corners here. And is Frantic going to be able to get a pass done going down the second DRS zone? He stays back just a little bit. And our leaders up front here, Baran and Marios, 3/10 of a second separating, and then we are running into lap 8 of 25 now. You can see DRS open. Marios is going to look to the outside. Baran's going to move very defensive up the track, block the braking zone, hold on to it there. So Baran trying to stick around, and Marios is just having none of it. Baran on the soft tires. Soft tires are going to be starting to wear out now, so Marios is going to just play it patient for a little bit and then probably push, try to take advantage of the difference in tire deg and try to really just run after him here long term and get a pass done. And you can see there, Marios not able to get away like he was last lap through the first sector. And now that these two squabbling is inviting Kier into the mix. We're lap 8 of 25, and things are getting very, very interesting here as we go through. We're continuing to watch. Frantic is 4/10 of a second, 3/10 of a second back off Topove and holding on to that as well. And we've got this three-way battle shaping up front. You see as they stay in their single file lines coming through, Baran on the soft tires is going to start really holding everyone back as they continue to run through. And the laps continue to click down. And now you can see Baran being very defensive there through the second DRS zone. As they come around onto the final straight stretch here, Marios is going to have a helping hand at DRS. Is he going to be able to take advantage of it to get a pass done as Baran gets a little bit better of an exit out of the final corner. And now Baran is just far enough away that Marios isn't able to take advantage. But Marios does have Kier on the inside here. The Silver L going for a dive, and now they're side by side. And that's going to give Baran a little bit of room to get away here as Kier is able to get to position up and is into P2 now. Gets past Marios. And now Kier can set off to try to do what Marios couldn't and get a pass done on Baran as they continue through. I have a feeling this battle is going to continue for several laps, so we're going to continue to keep our eyes on it here. Looking back, Frantic is past Topove, and that gap is about a second now and continuing to gain. Radislav Kepa is trying to push to get past Velix. Velix is gaining up on Topove here, so this is starting to form a little bit of a DRS train that's going to get very, very interesting very quick as they go through. Kier with... I look away for 2 seconds, and somehow Kier's up in P1 now, past Baran, and now Marios is going to have pressure on Baran as well. What just happened? Anyways, now Kier, your new race leader, Baran P2, Marios P3. As we continue here, lap 10 of 25, we've had one safety car so far for Radislav Kepa spinning very severely on the start, taking out Pafixian in the mix. Soft tires starting to wear down here for Baran. Baran in P2, but 0.2 of a second back. You have Marios that is looking up the inside now, coming out of turn 13, trying to go side by side. Not close enough to make the pass happen. Still trying to hold on to it, though. Mario's taking a warning for track limits there coming out of turn 16. Just trying to get close enough there to Baran to get the pass done. 1/10.5 the gap. As he's continuing to push through here, Marios with DRS is going to try to look to the outside. Is Baran going to defend it? Baran does not defend it. He's 9 laps in on these soft tires, even though the first couple laps were under safety car. So at this point, I would have to imagine Baran is probably going to be near a pit stop here. And there it is. He gets past, and he's going to bring it into the pits. Kier 21 puts in the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 1:32.0. And now with Baran into the pits on those soft tires, is he going to be able to pull off some overcut or undercut strategies? And where's he going to find himself? You can see the wear on those soft tires. He goes onto a set of hards, and I would imagine these hard tires are going to have to last him to the end of the Grand Prix. So he's going to have to play a little bit of tire conservation as we run through here. And he is going to come out completely in P10, just able to stay ahead of Gamer coming out of the pits. Just barely. Which is going to be very fortunate for him because he's going to need to keep that position ahead of Gamer. That way he can try to push to keep a bit of advantage in if he wants to try to pull off the overcut. Checking in on our leaders up front, you can see there's Kier. Here comes Mario's. 1.9 seconds the gap here for these two. And that gap is continuing to open up. And then you've got 5.2 seconds back from the front two towards Frantic. Tipove's in P4, but right behind Tipove is Velix. We have a yellow flag for Kushor spinning in Sector 1, and that is going to bring out another safety car, and that is, that is painful, because that means that, that means Baran just lost out big time, and pit lane is about to get very, very busy here as we come through. So Kier's going to be into the pits there in the Silver Arrow, your leader at the moment, coming through for the cheap pit stop, and is going to go into a fresh set of mediums. Marios is coming through in the Williams garage, fresh set of mediums, and now Velix stays out on those hard compound tires. Tipove, Williams are double stacking. Extremely clean double stack, though. Didn't have to slow down, if maybe for 1/10 of a second. He's going to come through. That is a very clean pit stop there for Tipove. We have Baran is going to make his way back up into P5. He's got Kier and Marios in front, both of whom pitted. And now he's got Nathan and Velix, who are still on hard compound tires and have not pit yet. I don't know if maybe they're looking to run long and go soft tires to the end, but that is an interesting strategy call to me. Gamer 2021 is coming out of the pits now onto a set of mediums. So a little bit of strategy here being played. We're lap 12 of 25. Second safety car for Kushor spinning in Sector 1, but Kushor did not DNF out, so I'm not sure what the decision was there. Anyways, we're back underway here for lap 12 of 25, and I'm curious to see what Velix and Nathan are going to decide to do here with being the only drivers to not pit there that are still on the tires they started the race on. All right. As we're coming through the first sector here, I forget how long these safety car laps are. Anyways, so 20 drivers in split one equals even more safety car. I hope not. I'll run out of things to talk about, Debe. I will run out of things to talk about, and I'm already running out of things to talk about. Anyways, so safety car is in this lap. I didn't say a lot during that safety car because there wasn't a lot to say. But looking at performances and how people are doing, Velix is in a very, very good spot for securing his first win here. If he gets lucky and there's another safety car and he builds the gap. Otherwise, Kier is looking in a very, very good spot as well. We're back underway, and you can see Baran there was looking at making a big dive down the inside early on, trying to make up some pace advantage and difference there, and wasn't able to make it stick early. Kier, 0.2 of a second back on Nathan, and now Baran is going to be hard on the offensive. Of course, Baran losing out big time there, pitting just before the safety car. 1 lap before the safety car, so losing out a lot of time there, and a lot of people were able to get free pit stops out of him there. Pink and Juro battling it out there side by side all the way through. Which one of them is going to come out on top here in this battle for P9? Juro is. Now you've got Kushor in the back who's looking at a dive up the inside. Not able to make anything stick there. Marios here is trying to chase down Kier. Kier is trying to chase down Nathan. Nathan is trying to hang on here with Velix. And Velix and Nathan want to make an escape as fast as they can away from these drivers on the medium tires. And something tells me Velix and Nathan know there's going to be another safety car, and that's what they're banking on. But as we watch here as they go through, look at the pressure that's being put on Nathan early on there. Kier's now able to get the pass done up into P2, and there goes Marios right behind. So Nathan dropping P2 to P4 in the matter of 2 corners. And now you can see Velix under a lot of pressure early on from Kier and Marios here. And they're going to continue to push and pressure, and the field is very, very close together now. Nathan's extremely close here to Baran. Of course, no DRS for 2 laps after safety car. This is all about pace. You can see Nathan really thinking about trying to chuck it up the inside there, but doesn't do it, even though it could have been an option at the time. Look at Kier staying within 1/10 of a second here of Velix, within 1/10 and a half. I mean, extremely close. Peeking around the outside here, the long way around in turn 13. Not able to make it go. Never mind, he's going to make it stick there and go around, switch it through. And now look at that, though. Marios is going to be in the mix there. Marios is going to be up the inside. So you've got Kier and Marios side by side, and they're both being held up by Velix. Who's going to come out on top here? Neither of them. They're all going to slot back into the position they were in. And Velix is going to live to tell the tale for another day, even though you can tell Kier is desperate to get past this Alpine driver. Here we go through turns 25 and 26 again. On the run towards 27, look at the defensive master class that is being put on Velix. Velix finally having to give in there and let Kier through. And now all the way around the outside comes Marios. Marios is through, and now Baran wants to put a nose in the mix as well. We've got a 4-way battle for P1 here, and we're 10 laps to go now this time by. DRS is now enabled. This should even things out a little bit. Kier is going to look up the inside going into turn 1. Gets a little bit swirly there on the back end. Velix and Baran are now battling it out, and who is going to come out on top of these two was Velix and Baran. P3, P4. Nathan's dropped back into P5 here. Baran should have the significant tire advantage, but Velix is going to be holding on here, trying to make sure that he's not able to get past as they continue through here. Coming around, who is going to get the advantage? Marios and Kier already 1.2 seconds ahead here of Velix. Baran a tenth of a second back. Every lap he stays behind Velix. Every corner he's losing out time to these front two on the medium tires. And is he going to be able to get past now? Velix, defensive masterclass, parks it in the middle of the road. And as we come through here, Baran is going to have to settle back in for fourth place yet again for another section of the track. And if you look behind him here as we watch Baran finally get past Velix there. Velix going very wide, frantic. And the McLaren is going to dive it through as well. And there goes Nathan. Velix, one little compromise line, dropping from P3 to P7 all the way back on those hard compound tires. Still not going into the pits, though. And now you've got the leaders swapping out here of Marios and Kier, battling it out side by side. Kier has the DRS down the main straight. That should give him just enough of a pace advantage in order to get away from Marios. Hold on to that position. You've got Juro now going up into P7 as Velix has opted to go into the pits here. Nathan is staying out for a little bit longer. We'll see when Nathan decides to pit. Velix going on to mediums to finish out the race. Yellow flag sector 3, that is going to be for Pink. And it looks like Pink is back underway though with no issues, but that is going to be, this is going to be a race that Pink wants to forget. His teammate's currently P1, he is currently sitting in last place. But as we go through, Kier's going to have to earn it here as we've got 7 laps to go. Marios 0.2 of a second back, very, very close, fighting very hard, trying to gain this win. And now things have settled down just a little bit back in the back of the pack through the midfield, and it's just the front two that are extremely close. But you can see that gap opening up there. It was nearly a second by the end of the straight. Things are opening up a little bit. Marios is starting to settle down here while battling Kier. And as we go through, we're starting lap 18 of 25 now, and Marios and Kier half a second separating the two. Baran into the pits. I don't know what for, though. Looks like that is going to be an unscheduled stop onto a set of soft tires. I'm not sure where the decision was with that. Very interesting decision, but it looks like it's one that he's going to stick to, and we'll see what that... And there's a safety car. But for what? All right, I'm very confused as to why there's a safety car. Pink DNF. Apparently I missed where Pink crashed, though, which is very weird. All right, so we'll have like a 5-lap shootout to finish this race. Which, for Baran, Nathan, Kushor, Gamer, and Velix should be very... very beneficial for them. As they are all on fresh tires to some degree. Versus the rest of the grid there that is going to be on their slightly worn, scuffed out tires. Some of them hard tires, some of them medium tires. So we might still see Baran in the mix for this. Very hard to know for sure, but we might still have Baran in the mix for this here as we go through. Look at how slow the safety car gets out of that final corner. Everyone having to bunch up. Absolutely hilarious to me. Anyways, who do we think is going to win this race? Because really, Baran and Nathan are in good spots now. They're on fresh tires. And the front of the field might be under a little pressure, but of course the front of the field has slight use out, so... I mean, the tires aren't in a bad spot. Yeah, we'll have to sit back and watch and see how this pans out, see how long they stay under safety car. I would imagine we'll do this lap plus one more lap under safety car. Anyways, has anyone been watching Drive to Survive? I know I binge watched it yesterday. 10 episodes, about 30 to 40 minutes each. All right, safety car is in this lap, so we'll be starting lap 20 with 5 laps to go here. You can see here, safety car taking off from the field, coming into the pits. And now as we go, Kier and Marios will be the ones to take the field green here. And you can see Kier waiting pretty late to do so. We're back underway though. Here we go. 5 laps to finish this race. And now you can see back in the back there, that is Baran that is thinking about a dive up the inside. There's Juro around the outside though. Baran coming through. Baran's now up into P5, taking off. A little bit of a snap there. Baran's already going to be pressuring Topove. Is Baran going to get past Topove? Yes, he is. Baran already up into P4. We're not even, what, 5 turns into this lap? And now, Baran coming through on those fresh, soft tires, dash to the end, and Baran knows it. Baran is going to be pushing very, very hard to get past and get this job done and go for the race win here. You see the grip difference Baran has on Franek going in and out of the corner, too. Should give Baran plenty of options here. Radislav Kepa and Juro battling it out. Juro now down into P7. Nathan even going to be in the mix here to try to go back up into P7 as those two battle. And of course, Nathan does have Kushor right behind him there on fresh soft tires. So Nathan's going to be feeling some pressure here as well. Baran is going to be trying to catch up to Franek as frantically as he can. Of course, no DRS for 2 laps after safety car. It looks like Baran now getting past Franek there in the dive into the final corner. So Baran's up into P3, and the chase for the win is on. That's the podium. Where is the win going to come in? We have a few laps just to find out. Fastest lap, Kier 21, though, with a 131, which is going to spell pressure for Baran to try to perform here on these fresh, soft tires before he loses out. The best of what these tires have to offer. Turn 13, gap between Kier and Marios is 7/10 of a second, and Baran has 1.6 seconds, 1.5 seconds that he needs to make up there. Nathan and Juro side by side coming out of turn 13. Which one of them is gonna be able to get the... Oh, there's a bit of contact there, it looks like. And Juro drops down all the way into P10 and now has Gamer pressuring him for that P11 spot. Only one driver is not going to earn points this race, and it's whoever finishes P11. So Gamer's going to be pushing very hard to try to make up pace here, make up time. You've got Kushor and Velix, the two Alpines who are right on the back of Nathan in the AlphaTauri, half a second off. It looks like a little bit of team orders might be into play here as we see the Alpines swapping spots. And Kier just continues to pump in a fastest lap. Look at that. The gap between Kier and Marios is now 1.8 seconds. DRS now enabled. Baran is 1.1 back on Marios, so he's going to need to gain a little bit of time here to try to see if he can get past. There we go. He's now within a second. Baran puts in a purple sector 1. We'll see if he's going to be able to get past and get the job done here. As we run through, DRS now enabled for Baran. Baran was able to close the gap up just enough. Half a second's now the gap. He's got to continue to just try to push and gain and be consistent here and try to get past Marios as fast as possible because Marios is losing them significant time to Kier. And there's the dive up the inside. A little bit of an act of skill, a little bit of desperation there, trying to get the pass done as fast as possible. You can see harvesting from Marios. Marios now deploying the battery out. And Baran is going to have DRS here as they go down and around. So Baran finally gets the pass done here. It's 2.1 seconds and 2 laps. Can he make the gap up and get the pass done for Baran to get past Kier? Here we go. He's trying to gain the gap. Gap still 2.1. 1.5 laps to go here. And yellow flag, Sector 3, Kushor has wrecked out of the race here. So now only 10 drivers are going to finish. As we continue to go through, we're on lap 24 of 25. 2 laps to go here. 1.5 second to gap for the leader. 9/10 of a second back here is Marios. Marios losing a little bit of time. There's a big battle brewing back here for P7, P8 as well. As we watch Radislav Kepa and Nathan trying to chase down Velix. And see who can get past there. Nathan picks up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. That will currently drop Nathan back 1 place. And Velix will drop back as well. Means if Radislav Kepa could stay close enough, he'd propel up into P6. I'm looking here at Nathan. Nathan just a 10th, 2/10 back here on Velix, desperate to try to get the pass done. We're lap 24 of 25, 2 laps to go here. A lap and a half now, and Baran 1.4 back on Kier. Kier's trying everything to stay ahead, and looks like he's doing a very, very good job at keeping the pace. Very consistent and keeping the pace forward here as we continue to run through. We're coming on final lap now, and it looks like Kier and Baran, that gap is now down to 1.2. So Baran does have the pace, just not close enough in order to get the pass done here. But this is going to be our big battle right here. This battle between Sepulveda, Velix, and Nathan to try to chase each other down and get a pass done. You can see there Nathan in the background, just a tenth of a second back, absolutely trying everything to get a pace advantage here on Sepulveda. You can see here as he's going to run through. Is he going to be close enough for a pass into turn 13? He's not. So now as they run through the bus stop section here. And that's a big spin from Velix out of turn 16. A little bit too much pressure, cooked the rears, and just into the wall there. That is going to drop Velix back down into P8, which is very, very unfortunate for Velix. But trying everything he could to defend, and unfortunately just losing it at the last second. Kier's coming around the final corner. Gap Baran finally got it down to about 1.3, 1.4 seconds. Still not close enough. Coming across the line, Kier 2021, checkered flag. And that for Kier is going to be his first win here in Split 2. Actually, I lied. It's not his first one. He won last week. What am I talking about? Marios comes across third. Frantic fourth. Sepulveda fifth. Radislav Kepa sixth. Nathan seventh. Velix comes across P8 after that spin. Juro. And then last but not least was Gamer. So driver of the day goes to Baran, and that's very well deserved. Baran had an impressive drive to get on the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be our Split 2. Kier coming in as the winner. Baran P2 and driver of the day. A bit of track limits, a little bit of different warnings coming through. We had that big wreck right on lap 1, though, right off the start. And it looks like that was Radislav Kepa, Pafixian, and Nathan. And maybe a bit of Kushor as well, that we're all involved in that. Stewards will be looking at that. Everybody stick around with us for a little bit, and we will be back with Split 1 soon. And it looks like Noda is going to be your winner of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Is your champion. JJ splits the middle, gets past both drivers.